Or, I mean, honestly, it doesn't even seem like we have an attorney general, period. I mean, where is Jeff Sessions? He's nowhere. He's nowhere on anything. You never see the guy. You never hear from the guy. You have no idea what he's doing unless he's trying to find some way to jail you for smoking pot. I mean, my goodness, where is Jeff Sessions? I'd like to even have an attorney general, Roger. How about we actually have an attorney general? Because I haven't seen one.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Roger Stone is with me on the War Room here. It is a Friday, and we've got some news to cover here. In fact, we have been talking about the blatant double standard from the political left. Well, it's really on every issue, honestly. Every issue, the political left in America has a double standard, but specifically with this crap hole country narrative that they're developing, we've got a graph here that shows what the Clintons actually did to Haiti. So maybe President Trump called Haiti a crap hole, maybe he didn't. But is Haiti a crap hole? Well, unfortunately for the people of Haiti, yes. I mean, you can look at the images. It's just been completely destroyed, trash in the water everywhere, crime rate really high. Money, poverty is a serious problem. So here is a graph. You've got I'm trying to understand this, $9 billion of total funding, and you had less than 1% go to Haitian organizations, less than 10% went to the Haitian government. So combined, Haiti got about 10% of the $9 billion raised for Haiti. The other 90% went to non-Haitian organizations, which includes the Clinton Foundation. Roger Stone, does it get worse than this for the left to be criticizing Trump over his comments, whether they were real or not, they were accurate, when the Clintons pillaged the nation of Haiti it was the Clintons that made it a crap hole?
Well, I spoke to one of my friends this morning who is of Haitian descent, and when I asked her what she thought of the president's alleged comment, she said, "Have you been to Haiti recently?" You see, this is one of the greatest ripoffs of all time, and Bill Clinton emerged as the king of the no-bid contract. Unfortunately, those who bid on building homes in Haiti in the wake of the earthquake, they'd never built homes before. Those who were contracted to build roads, well, they'd never built roads before. Those contracted to build hospitals, well, sadly, they'd never constructed hospitals before. This was one of the greatest financial ripoffs in American political history. If Jeff Sessions was not comatose, if he were actually awake, he and his Justice Department would be all over this like a cheap suit. But unfortunately, we have a somnambulant attorney general who tells the U.S. Senate he's looked at Hillary and he can't find any crimes to investigate. This guy has the visual acuity of Stevie Wonder.
And it really makes you wonder why Jeff Sessions is choosing to ignore all this. Is he really asleep at the wheel? What is the deal with that? Meanwhile, Roger, you've got President Trump basically saying that Peter Strzok was guilty of treason for his quote-unquote insurance plan in case Trump won. Of course, we know the story there. It leads to the Russian dossier. That leads to spying on President Trump, and the story goes on and on and on from there. But, Roger, I'd like to get your thoughts on something here. I haven't heard your opinion on this. I've shared mine. People are talking about now Robert Mueller wanting to interview President Trump. President Trump has said he'd be willing for that interview. Trump's lawyers have said do not do that interview. It's now becoming a talking point. Trump to be interviewed by Mueller. My opinion on this, Roger, is Trump should not go anywhere near Robert Mueller. He should not do an interview. He should not speak to Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller has been spying on him. He has all the information to try to entrap Donald Trump in that interview. My advice is the same as Trump's lawyers. Do not speak to Robert Mueller, period. Roger?
No, Owen, I think this proves precisely the point I've been making for some weeks. Robert Mueller is intent on bringing some trumped up, phony process indictment against the president. obstruction, or perjury. The only reason that Mr. Mueller would like to meet with the president is to attempt to entrap him based on his experience and his confrontation with Mr. Comey. I agree with you. I would, A, fire Rod Rosenstein. Fire him now. B, pardon me, I would order Jeff Sessions to appoint a special prosecutor in the matter of Uranium One. C, the special prosecutor needs to inform Mr. Mueller, Mr. Comey, Mr. McCabe, and Mr. Rosenstein that they are under federal investigation. I would recommend FBI agents barging into their homes at 5 a.m. to seize all of their records. I would seize Mr. Mueller's computer, and I would begin their prosecution. In Uranium One, we have a definable, multi-million-dollar treasonable crime. The President of the United States should tell Mr. Mueller, get bent.
Yeah, and now he's saying that because Peter Strzok is talking about an insurance policy against the American people electing Donald Trump, he's now saying that that looks like treason. I mean, I don't see how it's cut any other way, Roger. This is a group of people. We know them by name: Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, Christopher Steele, Glenn Simpson at Fusion GPS, the Obama Department of Justice. We know the list, the James Comey. So we know what they did, and we know how they fabricated this document in order to spy on President Trump, which they then did. And they knew the entire thing was bogus to begin with because it was Peter Strzok's insurance policy. So there's another looming case of treason to me. And I think President Trump is signaling to the American people that you better look out. Whoever published that Russian dossier is guilty of libel, and he's coming after him.
You know, the problem here is that we on the right and Republicans have never been good at bastardizing the process to weaponize the Justice Department. If you analyze what really happened in Watergate, based on the fact that we now know that Judge Sirica was in illegal third-party ex-parte conversations with the Watergate prosecutors, and we know that the appeal of the Watergate burglars was cooked in advance by the three-judge panel, you had the corruption of the judiciary for political purposes. We Republicans respect the judiciary too much to do that. In this case, if someone would just tap Jeff Sessions on the shoulder, wake him up from his 1950s style slumber, if he could take 5 minutes off from trying to lock up people for utilizing and accessing state legalized medicinal marijuana and spend 5 minutes on the rank corruption of the FBI and the Justice Department under both President Obama and today, we might have wholesale prosecutions. Rosenstein should be indicted, tried, convicted, and jailed. Comey should be indicted, tried, convicted, and jailed. Mueller should be indicted, tried, convicted, and jailed. McCabe should be indicted, tried, convicted, and jailed, and so on. The crimes are clear and definable. All we need is an attorney general committed to the rule of law. That, sadly, we do not seem to have.
Or, I mean, honestly, it doesn't even seem like we have an attorney general, period. I mean, where is Jeff Sessions? He's nowhere. He's nowhere on anything. You never see the guy. You never hear from the guy. You have no idea what he's doing unless he's trying to find some way to jail you for smoking pot. I mean, my goodness, where is Jeff Sessions? I'd like to even have an attorney general, Roger. How about we actually have an attorney general? Because I haven't seen one.
Well, and to be very clear, the president has the grounds for the firing of Rosenstein. The Department of Justice regulations do not allow even for the appearances of a conflict of interest. The fact that Mueller gave Rosenstein his first job as a prosecutor is that conflict. Fired Rosenstein, canned, out the door, terminated. I don't know what could be clearer.
Well, I think the only thing clearer is that you've got a group of people, Clinton cohorts, that are guilty of treason. That's the only thing more clear. Another segment with Roger Stone in the War Room on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Thank you all for coming together to represent our party at its best.
I am standing in the middle of 1984 civilization.
Let resistance equal progress.
Yeah, this kind of feels fascist to me, yet they're out here protesting fascism. They put it in their music videos, they hold up decapitated heads, plays in the New York Public Theater.
Are you trying to fight me, bro? Yeah, trying to engage in political discourse with these people, and you've seen the responses time and time again. And this represents the strength, the courage, and the bravery that we can have freedom and prosperity.
The War Room. Infowars.com/show.
Support this network, and not only support us, but trigger the verified libtards on Twitter. They had an absolute meltdown a few days ago. They found an ad that I had cut for Brain Force, which, by the way, you should also get at InfoWarsStore.com. Always use the opportunity to promote it even more. They had a meltdown over an ad that I cut in April, and they found it like it was some secret, and they were like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing ever. So they literally had an autistic screeching fit over an ad of me promoting Brain Force, which is a nootropic, which like literally half the people in Silicon Valley take, which everybody has their different brand of. Oh, but when InfoWars does it, it's bad and it's funny somehow. If that's the best they've got, we advertise products that got 5-star independent reviews that you see right there on InfoWarsStore.com. Brain Force Plus. They had an absolute meltdown. It was hilarious. They wrote Vice.com. Listen, if this is the best they've got against yours truly, I advertised Brain Force 6 months ago. Everybody in Silicon Valley takes some kind of nootropic. This isn't like some hokey snake oil. I mean, Joe Rogan built his entire podcast on selling his version of the exact same product. You're gonna go after Joe Rogan too? Absolutely incredible that they had all these massive hissy fits over me making an ad for Brain Force. Well, here I'm making another one right now. You're gonna get triggered over this? Good. We'll sell even more bottles of it. You're literally making InfoWars and me money with your autistic hissy fits. Carry on with your autistic screeching, because it's a lot funnier from my perspective. If that's all you've got, it's quite pathetic at this point. Get your Brain Force right now. Brain Force Plus, personally recommended by me at InfoWarsStore.com.
And now get Brain Force Plus at 50% off for a limited time at InfoWarsStore.com.